that the quicker you do the harder things, the easier your day is going to be.
Yeah.
And so I try to focus on what's the hardest thing each day and when am I getting it done. And that's on my mind until that hard thing is done. And going through my day that way helps me to accomplish a lot more, because when I don't do the hard things first, I'm not putting as much effort and into the other things because I'm worried about that hard thing.
Let's learn how our next guest gets up, dress up, and show up on purpose. Enjoy the episode.
Hello, morning enthusiasts. Welcome to the Best Morning Routine Ever podcast. I am your host, Dr. Lunid, and today I have the honor of introducing a very special guest to the show, Gary Geiman. He is a serial entrepreneur with over 30 years of experience owning multiple businesses and helping other businesses develop sales and marketing plans, and that's where DMN8 Partners was born. It's a digital marketing platform that helps owners dominate their competitive and the market, the competition, and in the market as a whole. So, with no further ado, Gary, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Looking forward to next couple minutes talking with you and maybe interact and giving your guests something to take away.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell us about your journey, how it all started with this route to just be doing marketing.
Yeah. So I'm 50. I just turned 50 in October. So I feel like
Congrats.
I reached some type of milestone. I'm not sure which one that is yet, but so I started really my entrepreneur kind of bug or business owner bug got bit when I was 19. I got a sales job selling lawn care and wasn't necessarily like hitting it out of the park right away, but I realized I enjoyed this and it was something that I liked and kind of had a passion for it. And as I got older, introduced to another sales position in the mortgage industry, and from there, I started a mortgage company. It lasted about almost 8 years. Unfortunately, 2007, 2008, I did not set it up properly in terms of national licensing versus state licensing, which really was a hindrance in getting funding during those times. So that business went out, and I went to work for a consulting company that consulted into banks and credit unions, and kind of parallel, but was their national sales manager. And I worked there for a total 6.5 years, but about 2 years in, and when I first took the job, up to that first 2 years, I kind of had my mindset shift was I didn't want to own another business. Like the pain of losing that one was tough. Very similar when you go through a relationship breakup, like, not going to do that again. But after about 2 years, and I realized,
But we do.
Yeah, I realized that man, I'm building somebody else's dream, and I could be building my dream. And through a series of events, about 3 years after I kind of had that realization, started a home service business. 2012, we did exterior cleaning, pressure washing, Christmas light installation, things like that. We scaled it, grew it to the point in 2017, we did over $1 million in revenue. 2018, we sold the company to a private equity buyer. And in 2017, I had started doing marketing for other pressure washing companies because they had seen our success. So we were helping out with, website design, SEO, Google ads, email marketing, helping other business owners grow. And I really developed a huge passion for that. I love everything that there is about marketing, the testing, the just psychology of how you write copy, the ability to get people to see your brand and to build brands. And so decided as we were going through the sale of that business that I was going to go and do this full time. So DMN8 Partners has been in existence really since November of 2017. And now, we just eclipsed $1 million in revenue annually ourselves here. We have a team of about, I think we're at 10 employees at the moment. We handle about 65 clients in the home service space, and really focused our next endeavors are twofold. One is building my personal brand away from DMN8 Partners, and then two, kind of doing how we were bought in the home service space. We're working on building out a private equity fund to start buying smaller agencies that want to grow, want to scale, bring them into our space, and create a larger entity that can help more companies with more opportunities build their brand and be successful. So that's kind of a quick 30-year journey of where I was and where I'm at.
Yeah, and the root of it all has been the sales piece of it, because that's what 90% of what business is, right? That's what drives the company to become profitable, and so it's transferable.
Yes.
The skill set learned as a sales individual early on, they're all transferable across different industries, across different companies, and you embody that and show how that is feasible. And it's fascinating, the journey you've taken to now doing marketing, right? Because marketing is to drive more sales,
right?
Is to get that brand awareness. Tell us about how important it is to get that right message right off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, I think as important as message is, I think it's kind of twofold. One is just promotion of your company. So the message needs to kind of fall in line with the promotion of the company at the same time. And a lot of times a business owner starts a business one of two reasons. They lost a job and they need to make money, so they start kind of a gig or a side hustle or whatever, and it turns into a business. Or they're really good at something, they're working for someone else, and they decide, you know what, I could do this on my own, right? And they transfer, kind of like how you were talking, like my skill set, my strength is lead gen and sales. Those are my two strengths. That's what has made me be successful. Not everybody is a salesperson and decides they're going to start a business, right? Or not everybody understands marketing and they say, I'm going to start a business. And so it's important to understand that business works and business is going to be obtained based on how strong your brand is. If you look at the large brands today, Amazon, Apple, Uber, the things that we use on a daily basis, they don't concern themselves with their website SEO, right? Or their content strategy, because their brand is so strong and big. And why is that? The promotion of that brand has been the forefront of everything that they've done. Jeff Bezos, when he started Amazon in 1996, I believe that he was trying to make a play on amazing. If you look at his first logos and things like that, and it turned into Amazon. Back then, me included, like, who the heck's going to buy books online, right? Obviously, that has perpetuated to a lot more than just books online. And when you think online shopping, you think Amazon. It doesn't matter that there are other platforms out there that you can buy from. It's automatically Amazon. Uber, the taxi industry has totally been changed. The car for hire industry, I should say, because of Uber. And Uber has that name to where Uber means catching a ride. You're going to get an Uber. And you have Apple, like their cell phones are probably recreated in factories and warehouses all across the world illegally, but no one can copy or recreate the brand that is Apple. And so thinking about that as your own company, as your own small company, how do you perpetuate those things to your market, to your prospects? And I believe it comes down to really two things. One is, what is your mission statement? why are you doing what you're doing? What you were talking about, the messaging. What is that mission that you're on? DMN8 Partners is on a mission to help home service business owners grow and compete in their marketplace to achieve and fulfill the dreams that they are working towards. That's our mission, to basically support home service business owners to achieve their dreams. That's our mission. And then from there, having core values of how you help do that, or what it is you do, or what your company represents. We have core values based around communication, based around speed, based around fulfillment. And that's how every employee at DMN8 Partners focuses on work, focuses on speaking with customers, focus on doing the things that we said we were going to do. And I think if you ask, I know if you ask our customers, like, what does DMN8 Partners represent? They're going to say speed. We communicate with them very quick, right? And that's kind of an internal thing for me. The thing I hate the most about the world of online, it's easy to buy something, right? It's easy to buy something. But when you want to return it, everybody makes it hard. Like, I hate that.
Yeah.
Or when you want to talk to someone, you already bought from us, so we're going to make it difficult for you to talk to us. I can't stand that. So we created our company where our core value is we respond same day. And actually internally, we respond within the hour. Now, it's business hour. So if you try to communicate with us, it was after business hours, it would be the beginning of the next day or the next business day. But that's based on the fact that I know one of the most frustrating things that people go through is communication with their vendors, partners, suppliers, and we don't do that. And our customers would relay that if you asked them, like, what does DMN8 Partners represents, it would be speed of communication, speed of implementation, and ease of use. And that's what we focus on. And I think you have to, as every small business, as every business, regardless of what size, really,
right,
you have to determine, like, what are those foundations you live on? And then those foundations are how you go to market, and how do you, and then those foundations are what you communicate to your prospects and customers.
And then you mentioned the ease of use. I love the what you stand for. And the ease of use, are we talking about your home service businesses? Are we talking about the copy? We're talking about how digestible it is. What do you mean?
Yeah. So what I mean by ease of use is, so a home service business owner most of the time is a technician. Like, they're out in the field, they're serving customers. They're not technically inclined, right? So if they hire a company like us and we say, hey, we need this from you, and they're like, I don't know what that is, right? A lot of times they'd have to go to YouTube, figure it out. So what we do here is we'll ask them, hey, do you have this property? Never heard of it. Okay, great. We're going to go ahead and create it. We're going to add you as the owner, and then we'll manage it for you. And that goes along any line. So, like, for instance, call tracking or form tracking is very important in marketing to be able to understand where your leads come from. And, there are services that do that for you, and we have to set those services up for the business. And a lot of times they don't know, like, how to do it. They don't have it. It's going to take them hours to do it, to where my team can do it in 3 to 5 minutes. We're up and running. Nobody's worried about it. And so ease of use relates back to how easy we make it for our clients to do business with us. If you remember the Staples commercial, the easy button, well, we want to be the easy button. We want to be that thing or that service that is so easy to use that it doesn't make sense not to use us.
Yeah, and that goes for business too, making your business, your product, having that same model. Like, it's so easy to use, so easy to have that it behoove you to do it. Absolutely. No problem. So how important it is to be ranked on Google Maps, because we're talking about, you said it's good to know where your traffic is coming from, being able to track that. Right. Google search is one of the big ones. Like, how crucial is that?
Yeah. So, in my opinion, if you cater to a local community, regardless if you're selling a product, selling a service, like, ranking in Google Maps is very, very important. You think about it. If you're traveling and you want to find a restaurant, you want to find you're a taco enthusiast, and so you want to find best taco restaurant. Like, you're going to go to Google Maps probably and say, or you're going to go to Google and you're going to say, best taco restaurant near me. And then there's going to be some listings in Google Maps. And those listings aren't necessarily the best. It are those restaurants that are optimized for the best taco restaurant, right? And so you want to make sure that you're communicating your message correctly to Google through the copy and content that you post online, through your website, through the reviews that are received back from your customers. All of that needs to talk about your brand name, your company, and the services you provide. Everything goes back to the brand first, then the service. And so if you think about your company, and when I say brand, it's not logo, it's not colors, it's the entire entity. That, right? That is your brand. How you're looked at by your prospects and customers is very important. So what are you communicating about the brand and about the services you provide? And really, in a nutshell, that is that's the foundation for SEO or local SEO. And that's how, along with some other things related to user interaction, you'll rank on Google Maps. But the first thing, if you don't have a Google Maps listing, I think it's called Google Business Profile right now, you need to get one. You start today. It's not difficult. Go to business.google.com, fill out the information, get the map. Then you can work on doing the things necessary to get yourself to rank. But as a local business, you asked the question, how important? As a local business, I believe it's one of the most important online foundations you can have to get business for the things that you do.
Yeah. And I like that you say foundation, because I'm thinking foundation, you mean any of the numerous platforms, it could be YouTube. I just realized what you meant by that. So that segues into SEO, right? Some of the tactics that, after you get that Google Maps ranking happening, there's some tools, some strategies you have to use to get ranked, to be found, so the world can know about you. What are some of those strategies?
So 3 things that every company can do. One is get reviews from your users or your customers. Ask them for reviews. Be consistent in the service that you provide and deliver, or the products that you sell. Make sure that they are the best, and you deliver them at a rate that is the best, and then ask for feedback or reviews from Google. Make it easy. There's a link inside of the Google map. Text it to them, email it to them. Would you please review me? That's number 1. Number 2 is find all of the places locally where you can list your business. And what I mean locally is online locally. So join the associations, Chamber of Commerce, Kiwanis, local business councils. Join those. Get your business name, address, phone number, website listed, and what it is you do. And be active, as a 2B of that is be actively involved in your community. We do a couple of things with orphanages and schools that have kids that are in lower income areas on a consistent basis. You want to get my money? Show me a kid that is struggling. You're going to get my money, right? Or you're going to get my time, one of the two. And we do that on a consistent basis. I don't do it for notoriety, but we do get mentioned all the time. And if you have a passion for something, put your passion to work and use it to let people know who you are and what it is you do. That's number 2. And then number 3, and this is where a lot of people don't understand the power, but you should have a social media profile on every platform for your company. And I mean every platform. I'm not just talking about, the top ones like Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and TikTok. Everybody knows about those, right? But Reddit and Blogger, if you Google top 100 social media platforms, Google will probably give you 300. There's a ton of them. Here's why. Those social media platforms have what's called high domain authority. And domain authority is a number 0 to 100 that third-party tools say, hey, this is how Google views this website. And so a 0 to 10, Google doesn't give it a lot of credibility. But as you go up, higher and higher credibility. Most social media platforms are in the mid 80s to 100. Well, 99. The only one that's 100 is probably Wikipedia and Google. But 99, 85 to 99. Like LinkedIn is a 97. Facebook is a 96. How important is it to post content? I'll give you an example. I'm always testing where we rank in certain keywords on Google. And every week, usually, I'll look at a keyword where we rank in, say, the 30 or 40s. And you want to be in the top 5 so people know who people see your stuff. And so Sunday morning, and one of my rituals every morning is to write. I write 5 to 15 minutes every single morning. It could be something personal that I don't share with anybody. It could be something I'm going to share, or it could be something with business. And a lot of times it's something I'm going to share, and then I post to social media. Well, this particular day, I was having a little bit of writer's block. So I start scrolling through my email, and I see a report for recent keywords that have been added to a ranking report for our website. And one of those keywords was local SEO Birmingham. And so how we ranked for local SEO in Birmingham, Alabama, and we ranked 47th. This was Sunday, 2 days ago. So we're recording this today on a Tuesday. Sunday, 2 days ago, this is where I'm ranked. So what I did was I went, I know parameters around SEO. So I'm like, and I've been testing this, posting on social media platforms to boost brands. And we've been doing that for our clients, and we've seen some success. And so I took a blog structure approach. So when you're writing a blog to rank, like whatever keyword you're trying to rank for, you want to use that keyword in the first sentence. Optimally, you want to use that keyword as your first words, right? So I go to the LinkedIn platform, go to our DMN8 Partners company page, click on add a post, and I start writing a blog entry that ended up being about 500 words. Local SEO Birmingham were the first 3 words. And then I turned it into not sounding spammy, because that's what you need to do, and made it a helpful article about using branding, kind of what we're talking about right now, using branding to get yourself noticed in the marketplace and show up on Google search. And then I linked it to our service page that is local SEO Birmingham. This morning, as I'm writing, I thought back to that moment. Oh yeah, Sunday I wrote about this. I wonder where I'm ranking in Google for local SEO Birmingham. 47th on Sunday. I Googled local SEO Birmingham, and we're number 3. So nice. I asked 4 other people to Google it just to make sure. Right. Chrome and Google have cookies, and they like remind you. They're very reminding. So my search history might not be what other search histories are. So I sent it out to 5 people. 3 people responded. The other 2 were like, why is this crazy person texting me at 6:30? But anyway, sent it out. 3 people come back. You're number 3. Praise the Lord. Did I do anything special? No, I followed a couple key principles. Number 1, but the number 1 thing, which everyone can do, is I post it on social media, and I post consistently on social media. So you want to be known, and you want to rank, like post content specifically, post content consistently to social media. There's a lot of different ways you can post and things like that. But if you're not posting on a daily basis, start posting. You do those 3 things: get reviews, be active in your community, and post to social media. You will see your SEO rankings grow quickly and tremendously if you're consistent.
Amazing. Well put. Great story, by the way. That just motivates, gives motivation to those who've been struggling in that space. And I know a lot of entrepreneurs were wearing, especially startups, are wearing so many hats. And a lot of the times they just want to farm it off, right? Yeah. With all due respect, we just want to like have somebody think for us and just kind of pick our brain and be able to do the copy. I know you say you enjoy copywriting and do getting that messaging done. Is that something that's feasible with you and your team?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think if you're looking to find someone to partner with to help you with marketing, I think there's a few things that I would make sure of. One, make sure they understand your space or your vertical. We aren't a marketing agency for every company. That we like. If somebody came to us and like, we design rocket machines, like, that's great. We can't help you. I'd love to, right? But if somebody comes to us and it's like, hey, we own we had a cosmetology salon, or I'm a CPA and I have a CPA firm. Like if you're professional services or home service, like that's our niche. So you want to find an agency or a partner that is understanding of your niche. There's a lot of agencies that say they can help anybody, and that's just not true. It's hard to know the right copy and messaging for everybody. So number one, I would do that. Number two is I would find out like who owns these assets. So when you're creating stuff, a lot of times marketing agencies will create stuff for those companies, but create it on their platforms. So when you leave them, you don't get access to it. It's not yours. So you basically pay and pay and pay, and you have access to it while you're paying, but you stop paying and you lose it. So you'll lose rankings, you lose the history, you lose all that stuff. So who owns it? Very important that you own it. And then I think the third thing is just making sure like what the conversation is with that company or the people that you're speaking with. Are they tell you pie in the sky stuff, or are they honest? And how you know they're honest is if they tell you things that maybe isn't always flattering for them. Like, do I want to work with every home service business? Absolutely. Is every home service business our customer? No, they aren't. And so it's important that both owner and marketing company understand that, and they find someone that they can work with. It's easy to see when someone either doesn't trust themselves or they don't know how to do this due diligence because they've been with 5 marketing companies in 2 or 3 years. You know that one of those two things is a problem. So if you're able to, number one, trust yourself, and you should trust yourself. Like, you own a business, you've gotten this far, like you should trust yourself to make decisions. Then part of that decision is you should ask questions to understand what their philosophy is. My favorite question that you should never ask is, can I get a reference? Sure. Yeah, I'll give you a reference. Who do you think I'm going to give you?
Right.
You think I'm going to give you somebody that said they don't like me? Or you think I'm going to give you my raving fans? It's just not an intelligent question to ask. You need to ask questions around philosophy. Like, how do you handle this situation? Turnaround. How long does it take you to do this? And then give me a story or tell me a story about this kind of situation related to your business and how you were able to overcome it. Like, ask questions like that. You don't have to ask all those questions, but ask questions like that to understand how that agency works. So if you're working with somebody that's niched and you understand who owns the assets and you're able to ask those kind of questions, you'll get a good feeling like, is this a company I should work with or not? And at the end of the day, here's the deal. If you're working with a company and they're focused on everything else, like doing all these neat things, all this other stuff, and they're not focused on promoting your brand, they're never gonna help you grow. Promoting your brand is the number one thing that needs to be done in marketing, regardless of what's happening.
Well put. Yeah, those are very insightful pointers and good questions to ask, right? Sometimes we have to ask the right questions.
Yeah.
Because there's such thing as idiot questions. Because you're gonna get the answers you don't really need.
Yeah.
That's
absolutely
going to help you move forward. Tell us about how you get a dress up and show up, your morning routine. What's it like so that you can show up and do your writing in the morning and kind of optimize your productivity?
Yeah. So, I have this routine in terms of like staging my day. And it's like twofold, really. Staging my day in my mind, and then I stage my day on my calendar. And I usually do this in the hours like 6 to 7. My goal, I live about 20 minutes from my office. My goal is to leave the house by 7:45, 8 o'clock at the latest. So that time and I usually wake up every day about 6. So that time from 6 to 7:45 is the foundation of staging what's going to happen that day. And one of the things that I do, and I try to do consistently, is to add things to the routine that help me get focused. And like one of the things that I used to do a lot and I stopped doing that I'm really focused on just getting in the habit again, and it's a discipline, is some type of morning activity. So that's like one of the things at the top of my mind of activity I'm trying to make myself get in the habit of, because everything in life is conditioning. And if you condition yourself over and over again to do something, then it becomes a habit. It's just the matter of conditioning. I've conditioned myself to write almost every single day since 2015. And if you go on my notes app on my phone, like, you can scroll for days because I put all of my thoughts in there. Some of those thoughts get put on social media. That's when I do most of my posting on social media, is in the morning, because I want it out of the way. And I want to start the day knowing that I've won social media, right? To me, every day has a series of battles or games, however you want to look at it. And you need to win as many of those as possible. And so the first couple wins is staging the day. Second win is posting on social media or just writing. One of those two things. Usually it's a combination of both. And then the third thing is to get focused on the biggest thing I want to accomplish that day and figure out how to get it done as quickly as possible. I was always taught by a guy that I considered very inspirational in my life, especially younger, that the quicker you do the harder things, the easier your day is going to be. Yeah. And so I try to focus on what's the hardest thing each day and when am I getting it done. And that's on my mind until that hard thing is done. And going through my day that way helps me to accomplish a lot more, because when I don't do the hard things first, I'm not putting as much effort and into the other things because I'm worried about that hard thing.
Yeah, it's like a dark cloud looming over you. There's a good book. I forgot who the author is, but Eat Your Frog First. Yes. Essentially is around that. It helps you be more productive. And if you figured everything else is a lot easier from then on, just pick one big thing to work on. And that goes for collectively the morning routine, right? Sometimes it's the hardest thing to do, getting up and moving and putting yourself first and doing the meditation, the affirmations, whatever you need to kind of optimize you and prime you for the day. And sometimes that's the hardest thing to do, but it does become a habit. It does become easier. But if you do it, everything else, the day is just a treat, because then you're better prepared. You can strategize better. You show up for the people in your team. You show up for your clients a lot better because you mentally prep yourself.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
And so that speaks volume within itself. So tell us, Gary, how can we connect with you? Where can we find you?
Yeah. So easiest place to find me is social media. I'm on Facebook, facebook.com/Gary Geiman, GaryGeiman, or LinkedIn is probably the other place where I'm most active. Facebook or LinkedIn, both of them, Gary Geiman. And if you do have some questions about marketing, you can reach out via our website, Salvo Now, which is SalvoNow.com. Salvo is a turn of the century during World War I. The German and French armies, their leaders would yell "Salvo, salvo," and salvo means to shoot all your guns at once. And I believe in marketing, you should have many, many sources, and you should be focusing on all those. So I always like word plays with something, and so the website is what I chose for that. Nice. But you can reach us salvonow.com and or reach out on Facebook. More than happy to answer any of your questions.
Yeah, fire it all, right? Fire all your missiles.
Yes.
And that's an interesting strategy, because you hear otherwise to niche down and focus on just one social media, or kind of don't be something to everyone, right? You gotta kind of niche down. But you're saying fire all your missiles. You're saying get on all these different platforms.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. There definitely is something to say about there are riches in the niches, but when if you're trying to promote your brand, you're trying to be known, you need to be trying everything. And if you are on one platform only, you don't know what the reach of the other platforms are. Like, for instance, the exposure that TikTok can give you is ridiculous. And not being on TikTok would be a disservice to you, but you still want to be on the primary platforms of LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. You still want to be on those primary platforms. It's just a matter of repurposing the content. And honestly, I am one of those people that if you follow me on every single platform, which I don't believe people do that. I believe they pick one and they follow me, right? But I have the same content on every single platform. Like, I'm not doing
repurposed.
I'm not doing anything crazy that, can't be done by anyone else. So yes, there is something to say about riches in the niches, but when you're trying to market and you're trying to promote your company, you want to try to do it in as many ways and as many places as possible until you figure out what are the defining 3, 4, 5 sources that get you business.
Especially if, when just starting out, because you don't know.
Right.
You have no idea. You got to find out where your avatar is hanging out, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Gary, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so much for coming and sharing with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please comment and tell us what was your favorite part, your favorite habit that you are going to try out for yourself today. Comment below. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. Until next time, I will see you at the top of your best morning routine ever. Stay blessed.